joining us now here on Wisconsin Sports Daily and Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. You can watch them on X. You can watch them on Instagram Live. You can watch them on YouTube at WI Sports Radio, and now on the Fan Milwaukee Facebook page, as well as we stream live in all 4 places every single show. Mr. Dillard, how are we today?
Doing good. Coming off a Brewers win, off day, and then we'll see what they got against the Diamondbacks coming up.
Yeah, Pat Murphy, I don't know if you heard this or not. It was been a talk of the radio station all day today, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. When I heard it...
Milwaukee Brewers.
Hold on here. Here we go. Check this out.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Who would have thunk it? 13-12, and we're all like doom and gloom. Feels like we're 3-30, doesn't it? We're so used to it. We're so spoiled from being so damn competitive.
So he called Brewers fans essentially being spoiled, which generated a reaction from everybody of, we've never won a World Series. We haven't been to a World Series since 1982. And you're in last place currently in the month of April as well, with a winning record, by the way, the only division in baseball with all winning records. That also should be pointed out in all of this. So I've heard banter all day between listeners and hosts coming from it from a million different perspectives of how they view those comments by Pat Murphy. How do you view it?
I know what he's saying. There's been a lot of success. I mean, just me as a broadcaster, I'm like, this is awesome. What if I was, doing broadcasting for like the Rockies? You don't know what you're going to get year to year. But now there's a certain level of expectation. Why? Because they've had a lot of success. They've won a lot. So, yeah, I understand the comments. This is the first time I've heard them. But I understand what he's saying. He's like, why aren't you guys, 20-10 right now or whatever? But again, at this point last year, they actually have a better record than they did last year before they got hot. And they've had a ton of injuries. I know that it's almost like, we know they have injuries, but it's like some of these teams that have injuries to this degree, like some of their stud hitters, it is devastating for the team. For the Brewers to be resilient and have the depth that they have is fantastic. And who knows? I mean, in the next few weeks, should be getting a lot of these guys back. And I think the style of play is going to change a little bit. I think the extra base hit's going to come into play a lot more than it has been lately.
Yeah, slugging in general has been down. Home runs have been non-existent here for the last few games. But again, when you look at some of the guys that are in the lineup, especially at the bottom part of the lineup, like David Hamilton's not going to be a home run hitter. That's just not who that dude is. It's speed, get on base. He did hit one, off the wall or close to off the wall for that double the other day. So that's good. Some of these guys are starting to pick up, like Rengifo starting to get going a little bit here. I feel like Hamilton maybe is starting to pick up a little bit. So you're starting to see a little sunlight, even though, it's not showing you in wins and losses necessarily. But some of these guys at the bottom, I think, are starting to find their groove a little bit.
I think so. It comes down to playing time. I mean, it's anytime when your studs go down, Vaughn was going to be playing not every day, but pretty much. Churio was going to be playing every day. Yelich was going to be playing every day. Now these guys are on the shelf. It's like, well, who plays? So you got this platoon kind of message going out. Rengifo's starting to pick it up. He hit the ball hard early on and then went through a slump, and now he's caught his groove. I think Hamilton can play third base with anybody right now. I think shortstop, I think he's a little shaky. I think he feels more comfortable at third base. But the guy is a threat in the batter's box. He'll lay down a bunt with the infield playing in, which is pretty amazing because he's been safe a couple times. And you're like, well, he can only bunt. Well, like you said, he just hit a ball almost out of the ballpark at a very clutch moment in yesterday's win. So these guys stockpiling at bats, getting all this experience early because they know guys are coming back and they know playing time is not going to be what it is. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and you can kind of go around the room and see who's really seized it. I don't think anyone seized it more than Bowers and Sanchez. These guys have been on a tear. It's good to have that kind of dynamic too. A lefty that can go yak and change the game, and a righty that can hit any fastball to any part in the ballpark. I think they're going to put it together. I really do believe that. I think they've kind of been putting a lot of patches on different areas. But when you talk about the bottom of the order, I think it's going to pick up.
What about what we've seen yesterday from Harrison? I mean, he's got like a 2.25 ERA. somewhere along those lines so far. And I saw people out on the East Coast frustrated that he's no longer a member of the Boston Red Sox, seeing how good he is with the Brewers. I mean, they were talking about making him a bullpen guy in Boston, and now seeing the success that he's had here. I know you're not surprised. You watched him through spring and watched him throughout. What's been the key to his success here?
Well, I mean, you look at him, he's a standard lefty in a lot of ways, but he's got great arm action. He sells every pitch, but to me, it's the slurve. I love the slurve. I said on before one broadcast, I was like, I'm in love with the slurve. Throw the slurve more. It's a game changer. And the reason the slurve is so good, and you'll notice this, if you go back to different seasons, it's like everyone falls in love with the cutter. And then the next year, everyone falls in love with the split finger. And it goes from, pitch to pitch. And it's like, this is the pitch of the year. Right now, I think the slurve is a really good pitch. I think people are sitting on hard cutters and sliders. They can stay back on curveballs. So now they got a pitch that they are uneasy about. It doesn't have to be a swing and miss pitch. It has to be, I can't barrel this pitch. And it's a great pitch when you're talking about facing a right-handed lineup, which Harrison has been seeing a lot of right-handers, and you have to be able to have a weapon against it. And to me, it's the slurve. If you look at bat path in general, the way it comes out of his hand, you're making an X down the middle of the plate on where the guy's swinging and where his pitch is. And so there's a very small margin where they can actually square it up. So for me, they've had to respect that because he's thrown it for strikes. So I love the slurve. I think it's going to continue. But at the same time, he's kind of capitalizing on what the Brewers have been trying to do. They're trying to get a lefty to establish himself in the starting rotation without going and getting somebody like Jose Quintana, which Quintana, again, had a lot of success with the Brewers last year throwing the slurve. Not as much out in Colorado this year, but still there's moments where you look and you're like, how do you put this together? And you saw the foundation and starts leading up to this moment. But he was stellar the other day.
Tim Dillard, Brewers TV analyst, joins us each and every Monday at 2:20. Follow him on X at Dim Tillard here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this Brewers offense as we move forward here. Tyler Black gets the call going into the weekend. First game, they put him in the cleanup role as DH against Paul Skeens. How lucky was Tyler Black in that decision to put him in the cleanup role? I wouldn't want to be in the lineup against Paul Skeens. Nonetheless, here you go. Go play cleanup. If we do get anybody on base, it's your job to hit him, man. Your thoughts on Tyler Black? Does he look different to you? I mean, there's been some talk about swing path and maybe being able to lift the ball a little bit more than he was the last couple of years. What have you seen?
Well, number one, he did really well last year. I think they called him up when he was in the Seattle series. I think he did, had some really big base hits last year. I like the fact that he swings more. Listen, there's this whole thing going on in college in the United States where it's like, okay, well, swing decisions. You don't want to swing at anything out of the zone. Well, you're limiting yourself. You're allowed to hit a ball out of the zone. In fact, I would say the Brewers lost games in Detroit basically because their guys were willing to go out of the zone and hit a baseball. We see Contreras do this all the time. Chourio, when he's in the game, he'll just smash a ball that's out of the zone. I think Tyler Black was hung up a little bit on, I have such good swing decisions that I'm not going to swing at that pitch. And you're limiting yourself. You need to learn how to hit a ball out of the zone. So what I've seen is he's more aggressive. The guy can make contact as much as anybody. That's great. You should do that, but you have to swing the bat. So I think he's been more aggressive than we've seen in years past. And it's to me, that makes a player better. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you would tell your kids in Little League. You don't stand up there and like, all right, I'm going to try to draw a walk every time. No, you're aggressive. And then the pitcher is going to, if he throws a bunch of balls, be willing to take a walk. Learn how to take a walk, as opposed to I know how to take a walk and then trying to learn how to hit and do damage. I think his bat's coming. I really do. I think him swinging more is going to benefit him more than we can possibly imagine.
There he is, Tim Dillard. Check him out again on X at Dim Tillard. And again, Brewers TV analyst as well, joins us each and every Monday. So what's on the agenda for the off day, Mr. Dillard?
Ooh, off day. I don't know. Maybe go play some basketball. I think I'm going to play catch with the kids. I got my high school catcher's mitt right here. I got to use it yesterday. So I've been, I'm at home in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been watching my kids play. I've seen about 8 games in the last 2 days. So
okay. All right. Good. All right.
It's baseball overload right now. Yeah.
How old are they?
I got a 10-year-old who played 4 games on the weekend. I have a 17-year-old who played 2, and have a daughter who just did pole vaulting. Yeah. Don't even know anything about pole vaulting. Saw that the first time, and she did really awesome because she used to do gymnastics and now she does pole vaulting. So yeah. So it's a lot, man. I'm learning a lot about sports, but to me, it all comes back to baseball.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it should. Tim Dillard, thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk next Monday.
All right. Thank you.
There he goes. Tim Dillard on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all.